Hello friends, and welcome back to another video here on Sunday. Each week what we do is we go through some of the major markets and talk about some setups and ideas for the week ahead. I'm excited to be back here with you. It is post-Christmas, so I just got back to the office for a little bit here to be able to film this video, and then I'm probably off for a little bit for the rest of the day. But my plan here with you guys is to hopefully go through a couple different markets with you, see if we can find some setups and talk about some things going into the new week, and also kind of getting close here to that new year. So let's jump right into it. Going to start where we usually start, which is the US dollar. I use the DXY as a conglomerate of the US dollar, basically against several different currencies at the same time. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking a look at the daily chart for just a second, and let's just get a quick look at the moving averages. And what you'll notice very quickly is that overall we are very much trending to the upside with the US dollar. This is something that I personally believe has the possibility and the likelihood of continuing to do into the new year. So if you guys are watching, stick around for a little while, then for the most part, I will be looking for bullish opportunities on the US dollar against other different currencies that I have more of a bearish perspective on. Remember, whenever we trade currency pairs, we are talking about one versus the other. So for example, if I have a bullish outlook on the dollar, and I'm looking at Euro USD, I may choose to actually go short the euro in favor of that dollar bullish thesis that I've had and held for the last few months. The main idea being that the Fed seems to be marching towards a more aggressive stance on monetary policy, as where in the last year or so we've seen a lot of stimulus and printing of money to try and keep the economy afloat during all things pandemic. And so now I think that as things start to march back towards normalcy to a degree, that we could see the dollar continue to be that strong, aggressive buy that it has been and has been doing pretty well for my account in the last 6 months or so. So looking at Euro USD, I do have a bearish perspective on this market. I am looking predominantly for sell side setups given my bullish bias on the US dollar. So a couple areas of interest for me. If price does poke up this week or this coming week into what I would highlight as supply somewhere up in the 1.1360 to 1.1380, somewhere in this range, I would like to possibly pick up a short position here. So looking for that opportunity for the overall, market downtrend to continue. If it does, then great. What I'll do is I'll probably trail stops and continue to run a bearish bias on this pair until further notice, until we see something drastically change with the US dollar. This is again a market in which I am looking for predominantly sell side setups on a swing trading basis. Now, if you're a day trader, maybe there's some short-term buying momentum that you're looking at, but for me right now, again, main idea is downside continuation, looking for fresh lows and breakouts going into the new year. Key thing for me to mention to you guys here is that yes, we do kind of have a little bit of a lower high concept, but truthfully, as a seller, I am looking for this market to fail lower. I'm looking for breakouts to the downside, looking for pullbacks and opportunities to continue to ride this sell trend as I have been for quite some time on this particular currency pair. There's my bias on Euro USD. Let's take a look at pound dollar here. Now, pound dollar, I'm not quite as bearish because I do kind of like the pound. I think that the pound has been beaten down a bit, and with some of the recent hawkish from the Bank of England, I do actually have a potentially bullish outlook on the pound. Now, quick reminder, if you guys are not already in the private Discord channel that we offer, within the Discord, let me pull it up for you guys to see what it looks like. I share every trade that I'm taking and the full, and this is the important part, the full breakdowns as to why. So for example, last week I took a sell trade on Euro USD. It ended up being a break-even trade, but the point is, with every trade that I take, I share a full breakdown on the technical analysis as well as the fundamental analysis on my ideas for why, right? So for example, what I just mentioned about the euro, right? I said I'm looking to short euros here as their monetary policy lags the US overall, and that the Fed's continued overall hawkishness to combat inflation has me remaining bullish on USD going into 2022. So that's my idea, right? So whenever I take a trade or share or I take a position, I share it within the Discord for other traders to see what I'm doing and more importantly, why I'm doing it. So if that would be helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, we're actually doing a 22% off sale down below in the description. There's going to be information for you. If you would like to read more about the Discord, if that sounds like something that would be beneficial to you going into the new year, treat yourself. And honestly, if you're a serious trader, this is no joke, the place to be. You get access to our chat rooms so you can meet other traders from around the world. You can see the trades being taken by myself, Patrick, and we have another trader joining us soon, aka the Knock Trader. If you've heard of him on YouTube, he's actually going to be joining us as an analyst and joining our staff. So a couple exciting things there. We also do coaching webinars. So if you have questions, you can jump on the coaching webinars and ask your questions. So all sorts of good stuff. All the information about the group and that 22% off discount code will be linked down below in the description. Let's continue on with the analysis here of pound dollar. So again, I'm not gonna take away from the fact that the structure here is still very bearish on the pound, right? We've seen a struggle for the pound to really get anything going. This is a daily chart after all, and you can see on the 4-hour chart, even more apparent, there's just been strong downward pressure. And now with a little bit of revival, I do think it's possible that pound dollar could be the stronger of the pick between euro dollar and pound dollar. I think that there's that potential for pound to outperform. If anything, that may even lead us to look at opportunities on euro pound, right? Euro GBP on the short side looks actually really interesting to me, considering everything we just said. I kind of like the dollar bullish. I kind of like the pound bullish, but I'm not a fan of the euro. So truthfully, I'm looking to short that euro in favor of the dollar and in favor of the pound. So euro pound and euro dollar short side action is my kind of predominant play in that hemisphere. We'll keep moving on. We'll take a look at dollar yen for just a quick moment. You can kind of see dollar yen continuing its dominance here. The dollar strength still pushing higher and higher. And a couple things to think about here. I can't really buy this market up here. I really like to see things retrace. And honestly, the buy trade was probably here. In hindsight, I would have bought with, 50 lots right there. But of course, we don't have hindsight on our side. We are trading in the now. And, it's a little bit different than being able to know what already happened. So anyways, my idea going forward with the dollar yen would be to watch for a breakout on the higher time frames. So I can't really jump into a bunch of trades. I'm struggling with this templates thing today. I don't know why. I think maybe I'm just away from the charts for a few too many days during Christmas. But my idea being this: if we can get a breakout retest, love this idea. I love the idea of being a dollar yen bull. If we get that breakout, or if we retest some structure, perhaps I can get that second chance entry, or maybe that third chance entry there on the bottom of this range. So I'll keep tabs on that going forward into this week. If we do get a sudden drop, maybe there's a chance for me to pick up some long opportunities on the dollar yen. Now, if you're looking at it from a 4-hour chart perspective, there is kind of some arguable buys that you could think about, right? So for example, there was kind of this, but I do kind of think that already played out, right? You sort of saw the break, retest, and kind of go. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't more opportunities to look out for. And so maybe if we clear this level a little bit more, we see some form of retest, there is that opportunity if you're very aggressive on the dollar yen to the point that you want to look at more of the day trading side of things. Perhaps there's a retest opportunity somewhere in there this week that you could keep tabs on. But the area that I am most interested in, as mentioned, was 112.8. I would like to see that thing retest that area. And that could be an area where I look to pick up some dollar buys, as I am dollar positive and really yen neutral / yen bearish right now. We'll continue on. We'll take a look at another yen pair while we're on the subject. Take a look at pound yen, you guys. This is one that's been hot on my radar. I've been talking about it in several videos recently. So I am actually looking for bullish opportunities on this market. In fact, as we retest going into this week, or if we do see more of a retracement, I honestly may look for some opportunities to get long here. A couple areas that stick out to me are, of course, that 38.2, which is I would consider sort of that aggressive retest buy. So again, sometimes we see a big move up, a retest right to that 38.2 just before a continuation. That would be the ideal scenario should I see an opportunity to get long on pound yen. Remember, if I do take a trade, you'll see the full breakdown within Discord. For those of you guys who are already members, just check my trade alert section and you should see any trades that I end up taking this week. So with that said, the main idea here is a couple of things. Well, number one, we've seen kind of a strength or revival of risk on coming into the markets right now. We're seeing a little bit of optimism going into the new year for markets, which has me a little bit more pound bullish and yen bearish. Remember that the yen is considered that safe haven currency. If you were to pick one currency to buy during a time of absolute panic in the market, I would personally say looking at that yen pretty good. But because we see markets sort of rebounding and looking overall pretty healthy, I like the idea of actually selling the yen in favor of some of these more aggressive currencies, such as the pound yen, Aussie yen, USDJPY. Those are markets that have my eye open right now. And again, I will be watching those. If I take any trades, you guys in the VIP will see it right as it comes out. So keep tabs on that with me. But again, I like yen weakness and looking for more upside on some of these pairs. I'll be keeping that close on my watch list going into this week. Now, let's take a look at another one, USD Cad. So here's dollar CAD for a moment. Possible buying opportunities. What I really like about dollar CAD is that we cleared a very pivotal spot on the daily chart. So check this out with me for a second, you guys. We'll mark this as pink, okay? Because this for so long was a major level of supply on the daily chart. Look at the rejection off this. I mean, that may not look like a lot here on the daily chart, but bear with me. Check this out. I mean, this move, that was 360 pips of sell-off. This move, depending on where you go, let's just go from the pin bar point, 300 plus pips. This move, a move of over almost 500 pips. Yeah, just about 500 pips to the downside. So the fact that recently we tried to do that same thing, but then rallied very, very strong, to me, that tells me that the dollar seems king right now, even over the Canadian dollar. So right now, again, I'm not looking to short the dollar. So if anything, if I'm looking at this market, I would be more dollar positive than anything. However, there, as we've mentioned, are some other pairs that I'm just more interested in right now. I'm not super interested in shorting a risk-off currency like the Canadian dollar. If anything, I would probably be long bias slightly on the CAD. So if I'm bullish bias on both, then I'm not really going to trade it, right? I am looking for a currency in which I am bullish on, right, versus a bearish currency. Because remember, as we mentioned earlier on in the video, whenever we look at a currency pair, we are looking at two currencies in which you have to short one and buy the other. So maybe dollar yen, CAD yen, both bullish biases, right? So that's the idea. So again, not my favorite pair, but for those of you guys watching dollar CAD from a technical analysis standpoint, I would say that this is very strong, right? From a technical view, that breakout, that retest, and that continuation overall looks appealing from just a trending market perspective. I think that there's some decent risk reward looking at opportunities like that if you are purely a technical trader. But for me as a fundamental trader, I just think that there's some other setups that are a little bit more favorable towards my strategy. And for me as again, I mix those technicals with the fundamentals with all trades that I take. So we'll continue on. I want to take a look at the S&P 500 quickly with you guys, and this is what I'm talking about risk on. This market rallied very strong, and this is exactly what we said in a video recently. We talked about a risk on move, a push into stocks and strong currencies like, or I guess more of the speculative currencies like AUD and CAD and GBP. We've seen those strengthen in the last week. So I do think that that is possibly set to continue. Watch for the breakout. Watch for the continuation of the stock market and what that could do to some of those risk on, risk off currencies. If you don't know about risk on, risk off currencies, I talk about it very frequently in my videos, but generally speaking, your risk off currencies are things like JPY, CHF, sorta USD, and gold, right? Those are your risk off ones. These ones do well when markets are scared. They don't do so well when markets are optimistic, right? Now, we should talk about gold. So let's take a look at gold, as this is a very hot topic for a lot of traders. A lot of people like to trade gold. And so what we've seen with gold recently, I look a little silly in my recent video. I talked about gold being, not something I would touch here at this level. And of course, you can see sometimes the market just seems to spite you exactly what you say and then go against you. But again, I didn't take a position here, so it's not like I am losing money or anything. I just didn't love the idea of buying gold. And I still think that gold's upside is potentially limited by some of the recent COT data that we have seen. Now, I would like to update on that for those of you guys who are real loyals of the stream, of the content. Do me a favor real quick. If you made it this far in the video, if you're 14 minutes in with me, just comment down below, I made it this far, or like made it this far, something like that in the comment section. I love to see that. It's really cool. It lets me know that, people are like watching the stuff that I work really hard on here. So if you're watching to this far, let me know. Let's take a look at gold. So here's the COT on gold. So let's see. Okay. And let's see if this confirms my thoughts. Okay. Yes. So, well, actually, I don't think, has this not updated? Are we still lagging on the update? Oh, wait, no, last Tuesday's data, hold on. So the way COT data works is you get last Tuesday's data on Friday. So it actually does not seem like this is updated. Maybe there's actually a delay on the COT data due to the holidays. That actually could be a thing. Again, the COT data tells us what institutional traders have been up to, but I guess there's no update here for us just yet. But the idea being that generally speaking, institutional traders, the non-commercials, that is, leverage funds, hedge funds, things like that, they've been shorting or reducing their long positions in gold right now. And so that's why I was limited on my bullish perspective on gold. And, sure, could it continue higher? It absolutely could. Again, watch for the breakout here. It's just not going to be something that I'm a part of just because I don't see all the things that I'm looking for, generally speaking, in an entry. Doesn't mean that you can't take a trade of your own. If you take a trade, then, I hope that you have a reasoning to do so. You manage your risk, all those important things that we talk about on the channel. But the main idea being, I just think that the gold longs have to be careful because, again, the idea here of COT data not quite backing up, so it's basically the institutionals are sort of net short while the retail traders are super long biased. That's a cause for concern because what we know about retail traders is they tend to lose money trading in the markets. So that's my thoughts there today for gold. If you guys, again, made it to this far in the video, let me know down below in the chat or in the, not the chat, the comment section. That's going to be it for me today, you guys. If you did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And before you go, again, don't miss our 22% off sale. All of the information is down below in the description. I'd love to meet some of you guys and hang out with you inside of the Discord and hope to see you some in there. So again, link is down below in the description. Thanks very much for watching, you guys, and have a great week.